Okay, now this is what I'm going to do really quick because the questions are asked about humor. And now this doesn't have to be a serious moment. This is for mainly for people that are linear thinkers. Here we go. This is a lot off the top of my head, dates. But we've got to get this straight first before we even fly out the door with panic as somebody might have died. I think the person that died, now it's coming to me, is Leanne. Okay? Do not call anybody until I give you telephone numbers to confirm. Oh my gosh, I use the word telephone. All right? You're not going to see me right now because I don't even want to spend the time I don't even read that. Don't read this. When people are creating and they're going through the process, the reason why you don't see much behind the scenes is because stuff is taken out of context, correct, Jimmy, when it comes to all the languages, and they run with it. Then you've got to spend centuries trying to straighten people out, right? So this is off the top of my head. Just this morning, just woke up. Don't even have my first cup of coffee. Maxwell House. All right. And another problem that I discovered is as you're writing, you're trying to get things right, your pen doesn't work. And as you're moving around because you don't have anybody helping you, you spill your coffee, you spill your oatmeal on top of yourself. Then you get furiously angry because nobody will listen to you and nobody will help you out. Now, understand something. This isn't miraculous. It's because I'm forced to do it. Forced to do it. I do all this stuff to myself and by myself with people instructing me from afar, telling me what I need to do. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to do the other thing. Well, I went to the first Alcoholics Anonymous meeting in high school for a project. Then I wind up being around a lot of alcoholics. Then I have to define myself as an alcoholic, but I wasn't a classic. Everything that was developed during the 12-step programs came directly out of World War II and Korea, guys. And I played tennis with these people. And I had to ask questions about my own father and what it was like to fly the P-51 Mustang. You see how this happens? You start going nuts with numbers and then you say the wrong number. Then you got to go correct it again. So P52, P51. They were all different numbers because they were having problems as they were developing these. See my hand? They were having problems during the fixing up of these. Let me say it again. They were inventing and building, inventing and building, inventing and building, inventing and building, building and inventing. And very few women were in the front lines. This is not a matter of women's liberation. My good friend, Rick Napola's youngest sister, says to me constantly, well, you guys created this mess with this generation, and she's from the generation. Okay? This is how, well, he was born this way, and then we had to put him on this drug. And you didn't, at one time, have to put anybody on any drug at all. But then they burned people at the stake, and they did all kinds of other things. Once medicine, pharmaceutical medicines. Now let's do this study, and this is where James can come in, of what pharmaca is. Pharmaca is demonic. The demonic, okay? Even it might have been Louis Pasteur bringing in, mold and all the above, could have stumbled into or done something which created more of a problem than a solution. Does that make sense? And I'm pausing so that James, you and Lisa can have a conversation. And nobody talks over anybody else. Nobody whines, to pick me up, I can't. The first time I ever heard any of that, and I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm mocking. I'm not. The first time I heard any of that kind of tone of voice, Lisa, was when Stacy, is it Abrams, in near Fort, not Fort Pierce. You see how these things mix you up. Up towards Jacksonville, south of Jacksonville, you have St. Augustine, and then south of that, Flagler Beach. Thank you, Lord. If we practice, 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 and everybody practice what they do the best. Do not try to do my job. Do not try to walk in my shoes. Do not take my sneakers. Do not walk in the sand with my sneakers. Don't do that. Don't do that. Look at what the Lord has given to you. You develop your relationship with the Lord. You do not develop your relationship just even because you're married. You do not develop your relationship with your spouse by bossing them around or being bossed around. You don't refer to yourself as having been promiscuous. In the eyes of the Lord, you were never promiscuous. Ever. Ever. What was done, as we've calculated right now, all the way to the 2000 year mark, and now's when you're really starting to argue over things about exact eschatological, and I don't know if I even pronounce eschatology properly. But what happens is you begin to split hairs and split hairs and split hairs, then you split more hairs. You are saved, sanctified when you instantaneously, by faith in your heart, like a child, you were saved, and you cannot be unsaved. Let me say that again. You cannot be unsaved, because by faith you're saved. Then if you're by faith saved and you're locked, how could you get unsaved? Explain that to me, Charles. What was his name? Charles Stanley, who just died. He wrote a great, incredible book called Eternal Security. Eternal security. Once you're secure and you feel secure, you don't have to go through and go through and go through and use chemicals to try to hide and mask. What was a mask wearer? A hypocrite. So hypocritical thinking. Hypocrites. See, now I'm on a roll. The Lord's got me now as I'm waking up. La da 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 dum, boom, 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 point, counterpoint, counterpoint, point. Do you think when I'm doing anything like this, I need somebody to stop me? Well, explain to me, sir, 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 sir. Yes, ma'am. Could you explain to me? You just used the word toot. Could you explain to me what a toot is? Ma'am, could you come? No. I need to know right now, because do you know how important I am? I am a reporter for the New York Tutors Club, and I tutor people. Okay. James, could you answer that question? Yes, I think a tutor comes from toot toot, and I think that when gas is released, it's toot 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 toot. Now we have a song for a jingle. It's about as much as I'm going to do with that, because I can do that and then launch into everything. You can become multi-millionaires with my abilities. That's not where the Lord wants us to go. He doesn't want us to be multi-millionaires or billionaires. He wants us to demonstrate that we can love one another in hell. In hell. In hell and back. Mother was called Helen by Lauren. Then she was called Hell. Oh, God, here she comes. Oh, hell. Helen. Oh, here she comes. Helen back again. Up and down the stairs. Everything that you saw was pretty much the funniest material I have seen in a lifetime. Laughing at myself. Laugh, I thought I'd cry. The Beau Brummels. Look that up. You see, I go so fast when I start going blah blah. If people don't take immediate copious notes and start, hitting the pavement and doing their own homework. There's chaos. What does the Lord say about chaos? What does he say about fear? God has not given you the spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. 3 things: power, love, and a sound mind. Oh, Logan, you need to go to a 12-step program. Oh, God. Power, love, and a sound mind. Power, love, and a sound mind. My best friend in high school, not Rick Napola, became John Campbell, who became a raging alcoholic. I had to deal with him while drinking myself. The last one I had to deal with was a real alcoholic who had killed somebody in a car accident. I never saw anything like that. Lisa, if you have anybody like that around you, then it's a miracle that you're alive. Or any of the people that you go to the AA meetings with. It's so brutal when you've got somebody that's come out of prison, not jail, prison. Do you know the difference between prison and jail? This woman that I dated, and her name wasn't Lourdes, right now, and Lourdes came from the Panama Canal, dated her too. But the woman that I'm talking about, Rashida, was at levels I could not believe in the moods that she would get into, and she'd fire back at me at different languages. She read the entire Godfather over and 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 over again because she was in the hole. Do you know what that expression is? 30 days in the hole. Paul wasn't in a nice prison. He was in a place where you shit and you shit and you shit and you shit, and then there's some water, and you got to sit in your own shit. I guess you must know what that is. I don't sit in my own shit, and I don't take anything to shit. But when it does come and I'm not ready for it, and I haven't been exercising, and I'm not out there, and I'm not drinking proper water, and when I'm not complaining and murmuring in a desert, going round and round and round, now you know it wasn't much of a distance between what Miriam sang, I will sing unto the Lord, for he is trying gloriously, the horse and rider thrown into the sea. There wasn't much. It was like a mile or two. 40 years, round and around, 40 years, round and around, 40 years, murmuring, murmuring, murmuring. What does it say? Warning after warning after warning after warning in the New Testament about doing what they did in the Old Testament. And by the way, don't even call it old and new. Stop doing that. Stop in the name of love before you break my heart. Here we go now. I guess I'm not going to stop this. I'm going to have this uploaded. I'm going to dissect it. And then I'm going to, because I've now got, this has been 13 minutes, 18 seconds. I've only got 24:38. I'm at the halfway mark. I'm past it right now. Here we have Bill Ginny. Ginny's born 1944. I'm not going to give the exact dates either. We've got to get these exact dates by calling these people on the phone if you know anybody in any one of these families. Bill Bedford, 1946. Robin, 1946. Logan, 1948. David, 1948. Margie, 1948. Lauren, 1951. Henry, 1953. Peter, 1952. Billy, 1954. Andrew, 1964. Andrew Adams. Remember the horrible sin that Eloise committed? Ooh! Before anybody else? Every one of the girls, except Julie and Bill. But Graciela told me he was closing in on possibly divorcing her because Bill Logan was spoiling little Barbara Logan. You got to interview Graciela now. Oh, Logan, don't say mean things like that. Let me tell you something. It's not for the purpose of that. It's to know your gravestones before you write your gravestones. The Logans I believe Bill and Graciela were married in 1952. Will was born in 1955. I think then Charles was born, not Charles. Will, Charles, Bobby, Barbara, and Ducky. Five. Five in that family. Okay? Go over that one more time for me. You guys are closer to that age than I am. I'm up there. I knew Jenny, but not all that well because Jenny was how older than I was? She was 4 years old when I was born. Your mother, Jimmy, told me how obnoxious Jenny Bedford was and how she harassed when your father was trying to make out with his new girlfriend that he was going to get engaged to because he'd made a deal with Wide Mouth Frog in the living room at 16 Oakway. I know exactly where everything was located in that house. Everything. I can tell you every place. Even Joe doesn't know these things. David might if David was paying attention, but David was already the salesman and he already knew more than anybody because he did have the ability. He was extremely smart and he still is today, but he doesn't listen. He's not a good listener. Chicky was a better listener. Chicky came, we didn't even know Chicky existed then. Oh, how do you like the emphasis of my voice now? Now, see, during your Selah moments and you take a break for your advertising, this is when the two of you go laugh, 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 and then start to pray. Pray, 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 pray. Oh, and then I got to go shit. Well, go shit. Do this close to the toilet. If you're back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth, if George is there, let George sleep. But don't pick up the pieces for George. Don't do all these things and then go and then just let George continue to suck off the teat. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what you guys are doing as is your budgeting. But it seems to me like the only person I hear that's doing any of the work happens to be James. That's not the way this works. Everybody works. Everybody cleans. Everybody picks up. Everybody does this stuff. I have been forced to do this on the inside as well as the outside. I only did it on the outside. I was told that men have work on the outside, women work on the inside. Period. End of sentence. Until I was forced to train, and I was forced into 48 years. 48 years. 1963 was the first kiss. Logan had, oh, you boys, there you go. Once again, you're always going into your perversions and the pecking order. And how many, here, Lisa, I hope you don't mind, how many women you fucked? Oh, don't let the rain come down. Don't let the rain come down. Don't apologize for the words. Use the Greek, use the Hebrew, use the Latin. This is what Joan Howson really, 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 really helped me get over calling shit poo-poo. She goes, why do you do that? She goes, fuck is fucking. You and I are fucking, Logan. I go, yeah, I really like that sound. She goes, well, fuck me, will you? Bend me over from the rear, not in my ass because I don't do that, but fuck me. Will you fuck me? I want you to fuck me, Logan. I want you to fuck me from the minute that I met you. I wanted you to fuck me, but I was really fucked up because I was telling you that my husband fucked my firstborn daughter and my secondborn daughter. And I was lividly angry and I was in a panic mode and I needed somebody to tell me what I was doing. So I tried to fuck you, but now I really fucked you. Now, pull that all apart, Lisa, Jimmy. Right? Don't even start. Don't even bother. She is a graduate of Cambridge University. You want to go to Cambridge? Go spend as much time as you want at Cambridge. Or call Joan on the phone and go, hi, this is Lisa Carvin. You don't know me. You don't know me. But I have done some research and I found out who you are. Well, how'd you get my name? I don't know. I was just going through the internet and one friend and one, and don't be intimidated and don't say, well, that's not my job. What is your job to gossip? Is your job to shoot from the hips? Or is the Lord directing you to help put the pieces back together again? Joan desperately needs love, and she's been seeking it her own way, but she's been doing it through the law, the power of sin. That's in Corinthians 15, I think, verse 30. The power, and it's really, really small. It's about 4 words. The power of sin is in the law. The power of sin is in the law. Law empowers sin. Grace takes the sting out. James, you explain that to your own wife. All right? Here we are at the 2039. I'm going to now stop this and I'm going to upload this. Bye. And I hope when I upload it to YouTube, this doesn't go out on because of the F-bomb. I don't want this published. Bye-bye.